Hi, today we're going to be continuing talking about portraits. Our project's called Faces and Feelings. We're exploring expression and mood. We want to investigate the look and feeling of the individual as artists. Today we'll understand that artists and designers observe similarities and differences in people. We will look at and discuss facial expressions and proportions in portraits, and you will end up drawing another portrait of a family member that combines all of these observations. Well, also all the artwork you see today will be by McLean Thomas. She often paints portraits of women friends. In her portraits, she investigates the use of glitter, rhinestones, and fancy patterned fabrics. The artist asked her friends to help choose costumes and other details when they pose for her. So it's just a little side note there. Why do artists create portraits is really a big question. People sometimes ask artists to paint portraits of loved ones. People sometimes have professional photographers create portraits of family members alone and together. Then graphic designers might need portraits for projects like advertisements, a poster, or a book cover. We like to hold on to images of people we love. As an artist, we might want to create a portrait of a friend or family member in order to show the world the special characteristics of a loved one. Where have you seen portraits before in your everyday life? For me, I've seen them on money, like coins and paper bills, in public buildings such as libraries, schools, and post office, and in people's homes. Today, we're going to create a portrait of a family member or a friend. In this studio, we will use the ideas we did in the past lessons about portraits, self-portraits, and proportions. Let's look at A. This is another artwork by McLean Thomas, portrait of Menage. What do you see in here? There's a lot going on. We see the position of her head that's tilted, her hairstyle, the necklace catches my eyes, and her jewelry. Where do you see flowers at? The artist really uses a lot of flowers in the hair and in the pattern background. What other details do you notice about this picture? The artist used glitter and rhinestones in Menage's hair, eyes, and lips, and that really catches our eyes. Let's move on. What do these images have in common? And what differences can you see? First of all, they're all portraits and they're photos, but they show people with their heads at different angles. If you notice how their heads are tilted, it makes it a little bit more interesting. Do you think it's easier to draw someone who is facing forward or someone whose head is turned or tilted? Which is more interesting to look at? You may know that it's easier to draw someone facing straight ahead. A tilted head or turned head may be more interesting as it's less symmetrical. What else do you see in these pictures? We can really use real life as inspiration for our artwork. I want you to really start planning for your art assignment. What ideas will you explore? When artists make portraits, they try to show a person's looks. They look carefully at the parts of the person's face. They notice how far apart the eyes are. They also look to see the shapes of the lips, nose, ears, and neck. Artists sometimes try to show a person's mood or feeling too. The person's expression can help us understand what he or she are like. The artist also chooses colors that help to show mood and feelings in a portrait. And we can see some more artwork here by McLean Thomas, this drawing of different perspectives of a person. So here's our art assignment, just a little intro to it before we get to the nuts and bolts. Your art assignment today should include your family member's face, neck, and shoulders. I really want you to decide how large you'll draw the head and then have a plan to show the parts of the face. Show how your family member is feeling. Include some kind of expression. Also, explore a little bit with your subject family member. Ask them to pose for you. Study their face. What expression will you show? on their face. Pay attention to the location of your subject's eyes. How far are they from the chin? How far are they from the hair? And a subject, just so you know, is the person that you're drawing. Just want to make that kind of clear. Well, here's our art assignment. The materials you'll need are a pencil, eraser, and sketchbook. You may color if you have materials with markers, colored pencils, or crayons. You will create a portrait of a family member or friend. Your artwork should include a face, neck, and shoulders. Make sure you practice proportion, that the parts of the body relate to each part's size. Your portrait should show your family member's appearance and expression. And then you can add color. Maybe try to choose colors that express the subject's mood or expression. Just going back, I want you to really plan for this too. Um, think about who will be the model for your portrait. What will you include in the background? Artists and designers sometimes sketch a portrait first in pencil. You may wish to draw guidelines very lightly across and down the center of the face when you begin. It is much easier to erase it completely when the lines are sketched in lightly. So keep that in mind when you start your project. These are the things I'll be grading you on. Your portrait includes head, neck, and at least some of the shoulders. It shows proportions of features of the face close to your subject. The portrait reveals key features of the subject's appearance and expression of some kind. If you have any questions, you can message me on Seesaw or Schoology. Please upload a picture of your finished project to our media album. Can't wait to see your work.